Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see State Board Class 8 Science Chapter number 11. The name of the chapter is the Human Body and Organ System. As when we talk about the human body, in human body we have multiple organs and each and every organ is having their own specific function. But there are the certain life processes in the body in which the system of the organs or the multiple organs are working together to complete that life process. If I am talking about the life process, then how to identify which one we will call it as the life process? Simply, when we talk about the life processes, they are nothing but the function of the human body's organs which are not in our will. Like if I'm talking about the digestion of a food, respiration, these things are not in our hand. We cannot control them. It will go automatically. Even when we sleep, there are the number of processes in the human body which goes on continuously, like digestion, respiration, then the circulation, then the nervous system. This all are functioning even when we are sleeping. So this kind of a process of the body is called as the life process. And when we talk about these organs, when they are functioning, like heart is beating, lungs are respirating, and the blood is circulated in the entire body, kidneys are purifying your blood. So all these things what we are having, which we call as a life process, they require energy. So whatever function they are doing, because in a science already we have studied that every work whichever we are doing, it requires energy. So even these organs who are functioning, they also requires the energy, and this energy production occurs within a cell. As we know that the human body is made up of a numerous number of cells, and the cells are the place where the energy produced. Cells need the supply of a soluble nutrients and oxygen for this purpose. When we talk about the production of the energy in the cell, they require soluble nutrients. This is given on your textbook also, soluble nutrients and oxygen for this purpose. So this supply takes place with the help of a respiratory and circulatory system, because respiration is one of the most important part where we are inhaling or we are intaking oxygen and we are exhaling the carbon dioxide. And not only this oxygen what we are intaking inside or inhaling inside, that should get mixed with the blood and reach towards each and every cell. Further, respiration is carried out through the following three steps. We have a number of steps involved in it. First of all, the first what we have to see is the external respiration. So this external respiration means what? This external respiration is also classified or divided into a two part, that is a inspiration and the expiration, which we, in a general or the simple words, we call them as a inhalation and the exhalation. Means when we are taking the oxygen inside, that's called as an inhalation, and when we leaves that carbon dioxide outside, we call it as a exhalation or the expiration. Air is taken in through nose and sent towards the lungs through trachea or the windpipe. About that internal structure we will see in a further part. Further is the expiration or the exhalation. Oxygen from the inspired air goes into blood, and blood carries the CO2 from various parts of the body towards lungs. This air is given out by exhalation. So inspiration or the inhalation is nothing but what? Once that oxygen with the help of the air and the nose enters in the lungs, that is the inhalation. Exhalation, where the CO2 gas collected from the each and every cell carried up to the lungs, and then from there it's taken out from the blood and thrown out of the body. Next part what we have that is the internal respiration. Internal respiration is nothing but what? The exchange of gases between cells and tissues. Fluid is called as internal respiration. Oxygen moves from blood into tissue fluid and carbon dioxide moves from tissue fluid to the blood. That is the internal respiration, because in a lungs that is the external respiration is taking place, and from there when the oxygen is mixed into the blood, that oxygen reaches up to the cell, then the cell absorbs that O2 inside and releases the carbon dioxide. So that process is called as the internal respiration. Then after that, the cellular respiration is also there, the third part of the respiration. In the third part, when we talk about the dissolved nutrients like glucose are slowly burnt. Burnt means they goes under the oxidation. With the help of oxygen and energy is released in the form of ATP. This is the most important word we have, that is which we call as a ATP. ATP is nothing but the adenosine triphosphate, and this is nothing but the glucose goes under the oxidation, forms the carbon dioxide, water and energy. 38 ATP molecules are created with a one molecule of glucose. So this is nothing but what? The cellular respiration. The cells undergoes the respiration. Further part, as I was talking about that internal structure, we will see in a further part. So this is nothing but the further part. If you will see over here with the diagram, first time talking about what exactly is happening in the respiration. If I am showing over here with the nasal cavity, air inside, it goes inside from the air cavity. So here what we have, air in which oxygen is present. If I want to label it, I can label it as the oxygen. O2 enters inside the human body through the nose. In the nose, we have the hair and the mucus, which do the first filtration or the filtration of the air. Filtration from what? The filtration of the air, in that whatever the dust particles are there, that all get stick into the nose, the hair present in the nose and the mucus present in the nose, and then the filtered air entered inside. And then from here, if you will observe, from here it reaches up to this particular portion, and here you can see there is a pharynx and the larynx. Pharynx and larynx are the part of the neck region. If we will talk about, this is a part of the neck region, and from here the air enters inside. The windpipe and the food pipe both are connected at this position. Both are connected, and there's a lid like structure. There's a lid like structure which controls the flow of air, so as to avoid the food should not enter into the lungs. That's why the lid like structure we have in the neck. Then further, this air enters inside and enters into both the lungs. Now we have a bronchioles, then the trachea, lungs, alveoli and the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a septum or the muscles which separates the abdominal cavity. The below this we have the abdominal cavity. This is the abdominal cavity and this is the thoracic cavity. This portion is called as the thoracic cavity. This we call as a thoracic cavity, in which the lungs, heart and these things are means inside that rib cage. Because here if I am talking about, we have a rib cage like this. We have the ribs are there, the chest bones which we call it. Further is, if you will see by the theory part what they have given, the nose, respiratory system and the respiration begins with nose. Air is entered with the help, filtered with the help of hair and mucus present in the nose. Next, that is the pharynx, food pipe and the windpipe originate in the pharynx. Windpipe is present in front of the food pipe. There is a lid at the beginning of windpipe. This lid closes the windpipe during passing of food into food pipe and thereby normally prevents the entry of food particles into windpipe. Otherwise, windpipe remains open, hence air passes through pharynx into windpipe. Then the next what we have, that is the windpipe. Windpipe is swollen at the beginning due to sound box. Windpipe bifurcates in the thorax. One branch enters the right lung and the other into left lung. Then the lungs is present on either sides of the heart in thoracic cavity. Maximum area of thoracic cavity is occupied by the lungs and they cover the maximum part of heart. Each lung has double layered covering. It is called as pleura. Lungs are elastic like a sponge. Lungs are made up of many small compartments called as alveoli. Alveoli is a site where the exchange of gases are taking place. You can see the small balloon-like structures are there. Now the balloon-like structures, when the blood enters inside it, then the exchange of gases are taking place here itself, in and out air passage. You can see here the picture they have shown very clearly. See what we have. The CO2 contained blood comes over here, transferred into capillaries, and then the RBCs goes out. Here oxygen enters inside and carbon dioxide goes out. Okay. Further is when we talk about the exchange of gases in the lungs, gases exchange occurs continuously while blood is circulating around the alveoli. An iron containing protein, that is the hemoglobin, present in the blood, that absorb or that carries the oxygen in the entire body. Further, the last, that diaphragm, a muscular partition present in the base of the thoracic cage. This partition called as a diaphragm. And diaphragm plays very important role in the respiration because it maintains the pressure on the lungs. When we inhaling, that time this relaxes, the diaphragm relaxes. You can see over there given. Simultaneously rising of ribs and lowering of a diaphragm causes a decrease in pressure on the lungs. Due to this, the air moves into the lungs through nose. When ribs return to their original position and diaphragm rises up, pressure on the lungs increases. Due to this, air moves out from it through nose. Continuous upward and downward movement of diaphragm is necessary to bring about the breathing. So this is about the breathing. We can see here the positions they have shown what exactly we have. If you will see, this is the position of the diaphragm. So this is while inhaling and this is while exhaling. Now, further what we have to study is a blood circulatory system, but we will see that in our next video.